Hello, and today we'll be doing a half face rotted undead look for beginners. First, use a matte primer of your choice. Then we are going to combine brown white and indigo blue to create a eerie gray color. You're going to dab this gently on the half of face that you are going to paint. Feel free to do your whole face. I just did half for the class that I'm teaching. Once you have that blended nicely, we're going to go in with the maroon/brown color. Here you're going to use a small flat brush to fill in any of these soft areas of your face. Feel free to gently touch your face and find where your bone structure is. Anywhere that's soft, you're going to fill in with this color. So around the eyes, and if you tilt your face down, you'll be able to see your shadow of where your cheek sinks in right under your cheekbone, and then pull it down to the beginning of the bottom of your jaw. And you're making like a triangle or a division symbol. You'll go ahead and fill that in with the paint that you have on your brush. Now you're going to outline your temple. This process is gone over in more detail on the ghoul video that was made last week. Feel free to go back and utilize any of the previous videos to add to this video. This is actually number 4 in the series. Use your ring finger to blend. Again, that ring finger is the softest touch, so it won't completely destroy anything, just lightly blend. Now, if you raise your eyebrows, everyone will get some sort of wrinkles on their foreheads. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. So you're going to trace through those wrinkles with that maroon color, filling in anywhere that there is a dent. We're also going to pull some paint down the long side of our nose, starting at the bridge and going all the way to the very end, gently feathering it down. You don't need a lot of paint for that. You're just giving the illusion that something's a little off. You'll also trace around the edge of your nostril flange. Now I went a little heavy with that line on my forehead, so I'm actually pulling some makeup off from that area to use for other pieces of my makeup, which is actually a pretty handy trick because it keeps you from wiping off an area, and you can also utilize and fix your mistakes that way. Gently feather out any makeup that you have, any lines that we've made, blend it in nicely. Don't forget to get inside your nostril though. Once you're done, you're going to furrow your brow like you're very angry. and fill in the creases that you get from that as well. Different people will have different lines, so it's going to be different for each of us. Your next step is to make an angry pucker with your lips. Not a kissy face, but more of a scowl. Once you get that scowl, you're going to start filling in the lines that form around your mouth with that maroon color. Very gently try and stay right inside those creases. Once that's done, you're going to wipe off any excess of your brush and go in with indigo. Now we're going to be using the skinny part of the flat brush and outline around our eye. This is very similar to the black eye that we did in the last video. Gently pull that paint to blend it in with the maroon. Now you're going to punch up the triangle on your cheekbone, bringing that down and feathering the two colors together. That's really going to sink it in. Going to the temple, doing the same thing, blending the two colors so you have an accent looking something like an eerie bruising. You can use your ring finger to blend. Just make sure you don't have old paint on your fingers. If you do, you have to switch to another finger like I did. Go into those wrinkle creases with the blue indigo and highlight. You want to make sure that you can still see the maroon on either side of your indigo lines. So you have to make sure that you're taking it slow and steady. Do this around your nose, your forehead wrinkles, all of it. Now I'm just using the paint that's already on my hand and adding a little to go into those wrinkles. So that way I'm not overdoing it with the paint. It's very easy to put too much on. So just use what you have on your hand there or blend in what's already there. Still using that indigo to make those lines really look deep. Going along our nose, around our nostril flange, in the nose. Now here I take the indigo purple and I do a line that will accent my chin. I do have a dimple in the bottom of my chin and it also has a dent right on the outside of my chin. So I like to highlight that, blend it all together, and then also go along the underside of the jaw, not along the actual jawbone, but right underneath. The actual jawbone should remain that spooky gray color. Blend it down as needed. Now, if we were doing a full dud zombie look, we would go all the way down our neck and chest, but for this particular exercise, we're just worrying about the face. Now you'll grab the white and a sponge and hit your highlights like we did with the ghoul. And get ready to use your stipple sponge. I like to cut my stipple sponge into 3 small pieces. It gives me more control. You'll dab it into your green and gently dab on the raised hard parts of your face. So your actual cheekbone, right along the top of your temple, right underneath your eye socket, and along the top of your nose, anywhere that is the hardest parts. that stick out a little bit along the jawline. Just dab, dab, dab. You don't want to go super hard because you're just adding the illusion of rot. This is what they use along the outline of Beetlejuice. Okay, now I switch to a clean side of my sponge and hit the yellow and go over the same areas that we just did with the green. This is going to make it look very rotten. All right, back to the flat brush, and we're going to use the red pan. Now you're going to outline around your eye as close to your eyelashes as possible. We did this with the black eye video as well. That's going to give you just creepy eyes. They just look dead. They look very watery. It affects the color of your eye as well, which looks really cool. It's a great effect, and it's something that can be done very simply. All right, now it's time for touch-ups. I was going back in with that indigo blue purple and redefining the softest part on the inside of the eye like we did with the black eye, and then hitting the outside as well. Then you will just go in and touch up anything that needs a little bit more of a highlight. Don't forget to do your ears. And now you are a rotted undead zombie corpse. Very well done, you.